Everyone is using the internet. Hello, how are you? Good afternoon. My name is Gav Cross, and as some of you know, I'm a storyteller. A storyteller with no one to tell stories to. So I thought I'd tell stories to you. If you're watching live, I'm so glad you're here. If you're watching this back, I'm so glad you made the effort. If you're watching live, I know you made an effort too. I don't want you to think I think you didn't make an effort. If you're watching back, I don't favour the people who watch live. No, I'm really grateful for both of you. If you're watching live, you are definitely my favourites. What I said to the people watching back was a little fib, just a gentle fib. If you're watching back, that was the fib. I wouldn't favour either, and if I did, I'd favour you watching back on YouTube. Now, as long as we're all clear about that, hello. Can you hear me? I've had a few technical bits and pieces going on. It's very exciting. There's a little chat. Say hello. Now, there's always a little delay on that. So say hello in the chat so I know that I've got a connection. Now, this is what we do. I will tell you a story. I will tell you a story, and then I've got some nonsense for you. I've got some nonsense and some poems, and then hopefully we'll have some shout outs. I'm not 100% certain that I'm currently live. I am live, apparently. I have a producer here. Would you, my producer, chat in the chat box because I'm not getting any messages. It's saying unable to chat, and I do like my chats with you. So, the title of today's story is Dragons. I love dragons. I was going to do a storytelling show at the wonderful Blue Coat here in Liverpool, where I live. Unfortunately, there's quite a few bits going on, and I can't do the show. I can't do the show. So I got these little stories and things and bits and pieces about dragons that I'll spread over the next couple of weeks as well. If you're a fan of dragons, let me know. Now, I can't see if the chat room is working. It won't let me connect, but that's okay because I can look on somebody else's. My producer, Libby, who's my big girl, is going to sort it so that I can see the chat room because I like to see you. Now, I collect stories and I collect poems from all over the world. I like reading. I like sharing. Oh, there's lots of you here. That's kind. I've not been able to see any of that. So let's see who's here. I think we've got Emily, we've got Sophia, we've got Ash and Ethan, we've got Abel and Greta are here, we've got William, Pip and Rupert. Oh, Ori is here, and I'm definitely confirmed that I'm live. Olivia, Isabel, and Cordelia are here again, and Ori is saying that they are a fan of dragons. Now, I'm not always going to get to look at that because it's me looking at myself, looking at myself. That is just a quantum challenge all round. Let's start with this story. This story is an old story, and it was collected from Eastern Europe in the 19th century. But like all stories, I'm going to tell it my way, and that's the thing. Any of the stories I've told, any of the stories you read, any that you know, you can always retell them and put your own little twist on it. There are no rules, unless, of course, you're earning money, and then that's copyright theft. But we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about that today. I like dragons because, who believes in dragons? Who thinks dragons were a real thing? Let me know if you think dragons were a real thing. And also let me know if you think they're not. Let me know if you think they're just fictional things. So we've got here. Well, it's just I can't believe I've introduced Libby, the producer, and she's getting fan messages. I live in England, and of course, we have the story of George and the Dragon. We'll come to that another day. But I don't live too far. In fact, it's only a few miles that way, and you can see it out of my attic window, from a country that has a dragon on its flag. I'm not from that country, but sometimes I really wish I was. Do you know which country has a dragon on its flag? We got some ideas there. We got Abel says that they're real, or maybe they turned into birds. That's a good idea. And Henri has come up with Wales. And Greta is a non-believer. That's probably because she hasn't seen dragons. I understand. Greta, do you believe in dinosaurs? Do you believe in dinosaurs? Yes, Wales. It's the coolest flag to me. And I'm not Welsh. It's got a great big red dragon in the middle. Now, I will tell you that story another day. This story, as I say, is from Eastern Europe, and it's called The Story of the Silly Old Man and the Dragon. And I will play the silly old man. It's a stretch. I'll do my best. There once was a silly old man who lived in the forest, just at the edge, where the forest wasn't so dense, where when you walked through it, you could still see the sky. He lived there with his wife, and every morning he would wake up and say, "Good morning, wife." And she would say, "Ooh." He also lived there with his 3 lovely daughters, and every morning he would say to them, "Good morning, 3 lovely daughters," and they would say, "Oh, oh, oh." Now you might think they're being a bit harsh. Not at all, because he was a very silly old man, and sometimes silly old men can get tiresome. Is that the case, Libby, my producer? She just nodded. Now, the silly old man's wife and daughters were expert makers. They were crafters, and one of the things they crafted were bows and arrows. Every day, the silly old man would go for a walk into the forest. "Hello, my lovely wife." "Hello, my lovely children. I'm going to go into the forest and I'll find something to eat for tea. I was wondering, could I borrow one of your bow and arrows, and maybe I could do some hunting for you? Is that possible?" Now, they knew the best thing to do would be to get rid of the silly old man. So they handed over some bows and they handed over some arrows. Right, you better duck. He's aiming. Duck a little bit. Duck. He's aiming the arrow right at you. Now, I'm going to be gone all day, wife, sorting out tea. Have you got any treats for me? But his wife knew the more treats she gave him, the longer he would be out. She gave him a beautiful wrapped muslin parcel of some honey cake.